Memorial Day. A day etched in the fabric of American history, a solemn reminder of the ultimate sacrifice made by countless brave men and women in uniform. It's a day where we pause, reflect, and pay tribute to those who laid down their lives in service to our nation. Their courage, their selflessness, their unwavering commitment to freedom echo through the ages. The last Monday in May is not just another holiday. It's a poignant testament to the human cost of freedom. A stark reminder that the liberties we often take for granted were secured at a great and terrible price. From the battlefields of the Civil War to the mountains of Afghanistan, the story of America is etched in the blood, sweat, and tears of these valiant souls. As we gather with family and friends, let us remember the true meaning of this day. The roots of Memorial Day run deep, stretching back to the aftermath of the Civil War. A nation, scarred but not broken, sought a way to honor the fallen. From this wellspring of grief and gratitude emerged Decoration Day, a time for communities to come together to decorate the graves of fallen soldiers with flowers and flags. The practice, born out of the ashes of a divided nation, resonated across the country. North and South, Americans united in their grief, finding solace in shared remembrance. These early commemorations, filled with solemn parades and heartfelt speeches, laid the foundation for what Memorial Day would become. Over time, Decoration Day evolved into Memorial Day, a tribute not just to those lost in the Civil War, but to all American service members who made the ultimate sacrifice. Today, Memorial Day stands as a powerful symbol of national unity and remembrance. No event in American history cast a longer shadow than the Civil War. Brother fought brother, the nation divided against itself, the very soul of America hanging in the balance. The cost of that conflict was staggering, the death toll reaching unprecedented heights. In the aftermath of this terrible war, a grief-stricken nation searched for a way to heal, to honor the fallen, to make sense of the unimaginable loss. It was from this crucible of pain and remembrance that Decoration Day, the precursor to Memorial Day, emerged. The first national celebration of Decoration Day took place on May 30, 1868, at Arlington National Cemetery. General James Garfield, a future president, delivered a moving speech, urging Americans to remember the sacrifices made to preserve the Union. Memorial Day, born out of the ashes of that conflict, serves as a poignant reminder of the sacrifices made to preserve that unity. Memorial Day is a day for stories. Stories of ordinary men and women who answered the call of duty, who faced danger with unwavering courage, who made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our nation. It's a day to remember their names, to honor their memory by keeping their stories alive. Think of the young soldier, fresh out of high school, who traded his dreams of college and a family for the unforgiving reality of the battlefield. Think of the nurse, tending to the wounded, with unwavering compassion, her own safety a distant second to the lives she fought to save. Their stories, diverse and poignant, remind us of the human cost of freedom. Memorial Day is a stark reminder that freedom is not an abstract concept, it's a precious inheritance bought and paid for with the blood, sweat, and tears of generations of American heroes. Nestled in the hallowed grounds of Arlington National Cemetery lies a monument that embodies the very essence of Memorial Day, the tomb of the unknown soldier. This iconic tomb, guarded day and night by elite sentinels, is a powerful symbol of honor, sacrifice, and the enduring legacy of America's fallen heroes. The unknown soldier, interred there on Armistice Day in 1921, represents all those who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their country. Their identities lost to the fog of war, their stories forever intertwined with the story of America. The tomb stands as a solemn reminder that while their names may be unknown, their sacrifice is never forgotten. The changing of the guard at the tomb is a meticulously choreographed ceremony, steeped in tradition and solemnity. Every hour on the hour, rain or shine, a lone sentinel clad in the iconic blue uniform of the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment paces back and forth, a silent guardian of the unknown soldier's eternal rest. The tomb of the unknown soldier is a place of pilgrimage for millions each year. In the springtime leading up to Memorial Day, a sea of red washes over the nation. Bright red poppies, worn on lapels and placed on wreaths, become a ubiquitous symbol of remembrance, a silent tribute to the fallen. The poppy's association with Memorial Day can be traced back to a poem written by John McCrae, a Canadian physician serving in the trenches of World War I. In Flanders Fields, penned in the aftermath of a particularly brutal battle, describes the stark beauty of poppies blooming amidst the devastation of war. The poem resonated deeply with a war-weary world, its message of remembrance striking a chord with those who had lost loved ones. Inspired by McCrae's words, Moyna Michael, an American professor, began wearing a red poppy as a tribute to the fallen and a symbol of hope for the future. Today, the poppy remains a powerful symbol of remembrance, a visual reminder of the sacrifices made to preserve our freedom. In the midst of the barbecues, the family gatherings, and the flurry of activity that often accompanies Memorial Day weekend, it's easy to lose sight of the true meaning of the day. That's why in 2000, Congress passed a resolution designating 3 p.m. local time on Memorial Day as a national moment of remembrance. At this precise moment, wherever they may be, Americans are asked to pause, to set aside their daily routines, and to reflect on the sacrifices made by those who died in service to our nation. This simple act of collective remembrance serves as a powerful reminder that Memorial Day is more than just a day off work or a chance to enjoy the unofficial start of summer. Whether you choose to observe the national moment of remembrance with a moment of silence by listening to taps, or by simply reflecting on the meaning of the day, take a moment to remember and honor those who gave their all for our nation. Memorial Day, while a solemn occasion, is also a time for reflection and unity. It's a day to gather with loved ones, to share stories of those who served, and to draw strength from the shared bonds of grief, gratitude, and patriotism. Across the country, communities come together to commemorate the day with parades, ceremonies, and other events honoring fallen service members. These gatherings, often featuring veterans groups, marching bands, and poignant speeches, serve as a powerful reminder of the sacrifices made to preserve our way of life. Memorial Day also provides an opportunity to connect with our own family history, to learn about the service and sacrifice of relatives who may have served in past conflicts. Sharing these stories, whether passed down through generations or newly discovered, helps to keep their memory alive and to connect us to the larger narrative of American history. As we gather with family and friends, let us remember that Memorial Day is not just a day for barbecues and beaches, but a day for reflection, remembrance, and unity. The passage of time can make it all too easy to forget the sacrifices of those who came before us. That's why it's so important to preserve their memory, to share their stories, and to ensure that their legacy lives on for generations to come. One way to do this is by supporting organizations dedicated to preserving the memory of fallen service members. These organizations work tirelessly to collect and share the stories of those who served, to maintain memorials and cemeteries, and to provide support to veterans and their families. We can also honor their memory by taking the time to learn about the history of Memorial Day, to understand its significance, and to share that knowledge with others. Visit local memorials and cemeteries, paying your respects to the fallen and reflecting on their service. Every name has a story, and every story deserves to be remembered. As we gather on this Memorial Day, let us remember that our freedom, our way of life, was not preordained. It was bought and paid for with the blood, sweat, and tears of generations of American heroes. It's a legacy entrusted to us, a debt we can never truly repay. The best way we can honor their sacrifice is to live lives worthy of their sacrifice, to be citizens worthy of the freedoms they fought so valiantly to preserve. Let us remember their names, let us share their stories, and let us never forget the sacrifices they made. For as long as the flag waves, their memory will endure, a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring power of courage, sacrifice, and the unbreakable spirit of America.